With the continuous advancement of technology and increasing demand for realistic graphics and immersive gameplay, the video game industry has become a multi-billion-dollar market. To create top-notch games that meet the expectations of players, game developers and publishers invest a substantial amount of time, effort, and resources into their productions. This often results in games with high production values and jaw-dropping budgets. Join me as we explore top 10 games with the highest budget. 10. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, $80 million plus. Kicking off the countdown at number 10, we have Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. It's likely that Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain will be Hideo Kojima's final Metal Gear game. The influential Japanese developer parted ways with Konami back in 2015. The exact reasons for the sudden and shocking split will likely remain a mystery, but the budget for his final project with the company is slightly more precise. According to Eurogamer, a report from a Japanese financial newspaper revealed that $80 million had been spent on the game's production as of April 2015. However, with the final release coming in September of the same year, the final cost was likely closer to the $100 million mark, especially if post-release content and patches are considered. 9. Defiance. At number 9 is Defiance. Defiance was an MMO third-person shooter that was released for the Xbox 360, PS3, and PC back in 2013. Although it didn't impress critics much, it attracted a fairly sizable player base and survived for 8 years before servers were finally shut down in early 2021. The game's colossal budget certainly helped in this regard, although its actual cost still needs clarification. Prior to its launch, a Forbes report revealed that the project's total expenditure was estimated to be around $100 million, a staggering figure that encompassed not only the game but also a sci-fi television series of the same name. The lion's share, approximately $80 million, was allocated to the game's development, a figure that could have been significantly higher, considering the subsequent release of an enhanced version for the PS4 and Xbox One. 8. Battlefield 4, $100 million. Next on our countdown at number 8 is Battlefield 4. Many consider it one of the best FPS franchises, so it may come as little surprise to learn that EA's Battlefield games are not cheap to make. According to the company's former chief creative officer Richard Hilleman, the series' fourth entry cost a staggering $100 million to develop, making Battlefield 4 the franchise's most expensive title. The game performed strongly with critics and has sold more than 7 million copies since its launch. Despite these impressive accomplishments, it struggled to keep up with the competition, with Call of Duty Ghosts selling almost 3 times as many copies. 7. Max Payne 3, $105 million. Climbing up to number 7 is Max Payne 3. Rockstar Games isn't known for taking half measures or playing it safe, as evidenced by the sheer scale of the projects the developer typically takes on. While GTA and Red Dead may be the most notable examples, plenty of other impressive titles decorate the company's extensive back catalog. One of these is Max Payne 3. The iconic video game cop's third and final outing is also his most expensive, with estimates suggesting that the game had a production budget of $105 million. It sold more than 4 million copies in its first year, though, so it should have at least recouped its development budget. More importantly, perhaps, the game served as a perfect send-off for Max while offering a solid gameplay experience. 6. Grand Theft Auto 5, $137 million. Taking our number 6 spot on this countdown is Grand Theft Auto 5. Regardless of one's thoughts on the game, it's hard to argue that Rockstar's $137 million investment in Grand Theft Auto 5's initial development wasn't well spent. The game has sold more than 140 million units since it first sold in 2013. For those wondering, that equates to a total profit of around $6 billion and counting. It's worth noting that the $137 million only covers the game's initial production costs, with DLC, GTA Online, and the game's multiple next-gen ports likely to have driven that amount far higher over the last 8 years. The game's initial marketing budget is also believed to have been around $137 million. So it wouldn't be too surprising to learn that Rockstar has now spent more than $300 million on the title in total. If you're finding this video interesting, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. 5. Destiny, $140 million. Next up at number 5, we have Destiny. Though certainly not for everyone, Destiny and its 2017 sequel have been incredibly successful games, winning numerous awards and attracting a sizable and enthusiastic fan base. However, all of this success has come at a cost, with Bungie's initial publishing agreement with Activision suggesting that the first game cost somewhere in the region of $140 million to develop. Destiny 2 is bigger and better than its predecessor in just about every measurable way, and has spent considerably longer as the developer's main focal point. With all that in mind, it seems incredibly likely that considerably more money was spent on Destiny 2 development than on the original game. The fact that Bungie continues to support the game more than half a decade on from its release would suggest that this was all money well spent. 4. Red Dead Redemption 2, $170 million+. On the 4th spot in this countdown is Red Dead Redemption 2. It may not have sold as many copies as GTA 5, but Red Dead Redemption 2 features as much detail throughout its large open world. This attention to detail came at a huge cost, however. The game alone is thought to have set the developer back between $170 and $240 million, with as much as $300 million spent on marketing. When all's said and done, the true cost of the title may have passed the $500 million mark. Considering the game generated an impressive $725 million in revenue in just its first 2 days on sale, it seems safe to say that Rockstar was once again able to make a healthy profit on this occasion. Like GTA Online, the game's online features will no doubt have driven the production cost higher since its initial release. So exactly how much the developer spent or made in total remains something of a mystery. 3. Cyberpunk 2077, $174 million. Taking our number 3 spot is Cyberpunk 2077. After 8 years of development and multiple delays, developer CD Projekt Red had a lot riding on the launch of Cyberpunk 2077. It sold well enough, but the game's buggy performance and various glitches led to widespread criticism from players, causing the company's value to fall by billions of dollars in the weeks that followed. Compared to that, the $316 million that was spent making and marketing the game seems like little more than a drop in the ocean. According to one of the company's financial reports, around $174 million was spent on development, making it one of the most expensive games ever produced at the time of writing. Miraculously, the company turned a healthy profit on this amount, although its share price remains less than half of what it was before the game's release and shows no sign of bouncing back anytime soon. 2. Star Wars: The Old Republic, $200 million. Moving on to number 2, we have Star Wars: The Old Republic. Despite releasing almost a decade ago, Star Wars: The Old Republic continues to receive updates fairly regularly. Considering how much time and money was spent on its initial development, though, this really shouldn't come as much of a surprise. Reports suggest that the game had a $200 million development budget, making it one of EA's most expensive and most ambitious projects of all time. This ambition has definitely paid off, though. The game is now thought to have generated more than $1 billion in revenue since servers first went live in late 2011. This would make for a healthy return on the game's hefty development budget. And with tens of thousands of people still playing the MMO, there really is no telling how much more profit the game might generate before its servers are finally shut down. 1. Star Citizen, $415 million+. Following several hugely successful crowdfunding campaigns, developer Cloud Imperium Games raised more than $300 million for the production of Star Citizen. Since then, even more capital has been raised through private investment, which in turn has led to both the scale and the scope of the project increasing dramatically. While this is undoubtedly good news for backers and the game's future players, it has brought a new problem. The game's production began in 2011, yet there is still no clear indication as to when a full commercial release will finally arrive. Estimates suggest that hundreds of millions of dollars have already been spent developing Star Citizen up to this point, which will only increase as production continues to drag on. These 10 games with the highest budgets represent the pinnacle of gaming excellence, pushing the boundaries of technology, storytelling, and immersion to new heights. Which of these games are you planning to play? Share your thoughts with us, And remember to hit the like button in today's video. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll bring you even more exciting content. Thanks for watching.